Night of the Comet.
Night of the Comet.
Night of the Comet.
Right.
It's a 1980s. How would you?
1980s.
Very 1980s.
Isn't it just?
What would it be?
It's like a 2-hour music video.
What would you call it? There would it be a survival horror?
Tell me it's unclassifiable.
Right.
Oh my god.
Night of the Comet follows a pair of sisters.
Yeah.
Who survive some sort of evening apocalypse, which vaporizes or turns into a zombie anyone that was on the surface of the planet.
Yeah. Or not in a metal box.
Or not in a metal box, as they were. So what can we say about Night of the Comet, aside from the fact that it is probably the most awesome survival horror film of all time?
Yeah. It's definitely the most surreal survival horror film possibly I've ever seen. Oh my god. I don't know what to say. I'm still processing it, if I'm honest.
You do sort of come away from it thinking, what the hell did I just watch?
What on earth did I just watch? But not in a bad way.
No. It's not like you're never bored throughout the entire thing. You never sort of catch yourself. You do catch yourself thinking, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, I definitely question it all the time.
You're curious to know what's going on.
Yeah.
more the thing.
If you're waiting for an explanation or a payoff, though, you're going to be waiting a long time.
Yeah, it's not that kind of film. It's very much a roller coaster ride film.
It's definitely that.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, roller coaster ride, probably a Ghost Train.
Yeah, I think Ghost Train sums it up pretty much, yeah.
In a good way, in a sort of...
I mean, like, as we discussed while watching it, the opening, 10-15 minutes is the setup to a really good video game.
It's a fabulous setup. We both agree on that.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. I mean, it starts out and it obviously introduces the sort of main characters, the general background behind them, and then puts each of them in a location which becomes important at a later date.
Yeah.
And then brings on the apocalypse.
And then gradually gets more and more batshit weird as it goes along.
So you got the main characters in place on the titular Night of the Comet. All locked, unintentionally, but safely, in metal boxes of various kinds, be it a reinforced cinema booth or a garden shed.
Or the back of a truck.
Yeah. And then everyone wakes up the following morning, and everyone who wasn't in one of these safe locations has been...
turned into sand.
Yeah. Red sand.
Something that they could get cheap.
Yeah. But it was a really good effect.
Yeah, I must admit, the first time you see the city with, the red sky and everything, it was really quite iconic.
Which really can only be a case of them taking either a still or a quick shot of the thing and then putting a bit of red cellophane across
they do it in...
don't forget 80s.
Yeah, but they do it in,
post-production?
No, you can do it in camera. It's done in the last...
red filter over it, doesn't it?
Yeah, The Last Boy Scout does it, and a lot of those kind of films, some of the earlier Michael Bay stuff, like Bad Boys movies, do it.
Yeah, they do
because
it
you get a lens that's a fade. It's a faded lens.
It makes a cityscape look warmer or
hotter.
Well,
you do it to fake sunsets and stuff usually, because it just tints the top half of the lens. But you can do it in camera.
It really does sort of set.
It works really well, especially with the city having lots of reflective buildings and stuff, because it's LA. Everything's made out of sort of reflective glass, so it looks really cool as well.
It makes it feel eerie, but not in a cheesy way.
Yeah, not in a cheesy way. It's really visually the first sort of 20 minutes are quite incredible.
Yeah, you sort of think this might actually be a serious film to start with, but that vanishes.
Yeah,
very
that goes
quickly.
pretty quick. that goes out the window pretty quick. I tell you what, it reminds me of actually thinking about it is have you ever read The Dirty Pair?
Oh, what, the Adam Warren?
Yeah, the Adam Warren stuff.
I've read some of them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got that kind of vibe.
Just basically, like you said, batshit.
Yeah, it's just two girls running around blowing shit up and killing things. And,
which is
with very, very fine sort of storyline to kind of weave it all together.
That is what sold me on this thing, because I didn't know anything about this film until I picked it up
out of the bargain.
Yeah, well, no, it wasn't even. I don't know how much I paid for it.
Please don't tell me it's more than £5.
I think it might have been that.
Oh dear God!
No. Listen. But this is actually what's written on the back of the thing. They describe the film, and then they say it's a journey fraught with flesh-eating zombies, demented scientists, and 1980s teenage girls brandishing machine guns.
That was you sold, wasn't it?
That was me sold. That was me done.
It was like, 80s teens with guns.
Who the hell?
I'm buying a ticket to that.
So yeah,
Get me a front row
I will take
seat.
a copy of that.
I was front row seat that.
It'll be worth it just to see what it's like.
That neon leg warmer wearing car accident.
And there was a lot of neon in this film.
There was a shitload of neon. That's the most weird radio studio I've ever seen.
They hole up in a radio station.
That looks more like an 80s nightclub.
Yeah, it's dripping with neon.
Yeah. And the bathroom.
Yeah,
the purple tiled floor and the lightning pattern stonework.
See, I don't know whether that was part of the dream sequence or not.
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't
the
know.
whole film could have been a dream sequence. They could have woken up in the shower at the end.
Yeah, and it would have made more sense.
Like Bobby Ewing in Dallas, and I wouldn't have been surprised at all. It was the whole thing was a dream. Oh no shit.
That would have made a lot more sense.
That would have actually made a lot of sense if you just sort of come out of the shower and just gone, oh man, it's the night of the comet. Maybe this isn't a good thing.
Yeah.
And that was it. That's the end of the credits.
Yeah.
On the upside, I mean, it had like a really good sort of like areas of it had like a really good sort of John Carpenter vibe.
Yeah, I mean, some of the music actually made me feel this could be a John Carpenter film. Like you said, it was the John Carpenter film that he never made.
That he didn't make, yeah. I feel it would have been a bit more serious and darker if he'd have done it.
Well, it certainly would have had a slightly better ending, but we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves there. Anyway, the heroes of the tale stumble through LA, faff around, but in the background there's these scientists who knew or suspected what was going to happen.
Yeah.
So they hide in a bunker, but make the mistake of leaving the air vents open.
Leaving the window open.
Yeah.
So that death can come in, because
they've been affected by the comet as well, but in a sort of slower pace.
Slightly. Yeah.
So they're sort of gradually turning into zombies who need to track down these.
They need to write a lot of stuff down because their memory isn't working too well. So I need to
make
a note of that because I can't remember how to write stuff.
So they eventually learn of the existence of these teens and go in search of them.
Yeah.
Whilst meanwhile the teens themselves are just they're going mad.
Well, they get a bit bored because there's not much to do, so they go to the mall.
Yeah. Well, what else are you going to do?
Well, this is the 80s as well.
I know that. Well, yeah. There's nothing else to do in the 80s.
There's nothing else to do in the 80s America, but go shopping, especially when you're like sort of upper middle class teenage girls.
Yeah. So they of course go to the shops and they start trying everything on.
Cue. Possibly one of the best Jokers there's ever been in a film.
I mean, yeah.
Especially outside of a film that's actually Batman.
You've got Jack Nicholson, you've got Mark Hamill, and now you have this guy.
This random guy
in a film that is not Batman.
There's nothing to do with the Batman
the
universe.
Best performance of the Joker we've ever seen.
Yeah. I mean, arguably, you said yourself that the voice isn't maybe quite right for Mr. J. But as far as a performance and delivery of lines and the dialogue as well, it's fantastic. I mean, he even wears a wide-brimmed hat at one point. It's absolutely awesome.
The lines
it was so good. We watched that scene twice.
We had to.
I don't think I can handle it. I was I need to see that again to see if it actually did happen.
It was obviously, he was a kid, a late teenager, early 20s, something like that, who played the role. So his voice didn't suit it. The lines that he was saying...
Hadn't quite got the gravitas, maybe.
Yeah. I'm sort of wondering what he would sound like now.
Yeah.
20 years on, or so.
Yeah. Well, probably closer to 30.
30 years on. Optimistic 20 years.
I feel so old. Yeah, but I mean, he's got the face for it as well. The sort of long and bony with slightly too much teeth.
Yeah, I mean,
far too much teeth in that.
Especially the later. I mean, he's only in it for a very short bit.
Yeah, it's like a 10, 15 minutes.
He is like the highlight of the film.
He is, yeah. That's
simply because we're Batman fans, and it's like. I mean, I didn't spot it until you said it. That's the Joker.
Hang on a minute.
And then I'm sort of looking at myself thinking, that is the Joker.
I mean, he's straight out of Arkham Asylum, straight out of it. He's there with the little monitors watching everybody and sends in his flunkies to get them. And every line is just sort of self-deprecating madness.
Hello, everyone in TV land.
Absolutely fantastic.
It's worth watching the film just for that section.
Yeah, it is worth it just for that. I mean, that was, as I said, it was so good. We watched that bit twice. I can watch it again now. I can happily skip back to that bit and just watch it again. Especially the bit with the Russian roulette. That's just genius.
Again, it's purely down to what he's saying.
Yeah, his lines and the delivery of them.
I mean, everyone knows what Russian roulette is, but he's sort of being really sort of jokery about it. Gleefully.
Just loving every second, torturing people. It's just so... Well, it's a Joker, isn't it? It's just perfect.
Let's play a game. It's called Scary Noises. Click. Click. Isn't that a scary noise? Click. I don't think there's actually any bullets in here. Oh no! Wait, yes, there is one.
Just had to wait. I need to have more patience. It's fantastic. I think this could be the one, girls. I really do.
But yeah, it is, like you say, the best Joker performance
outside of Batman. Anything to do with Batman ever. I mean, it was so out of left field.
I'm really gonna have to do some research into that just to find out whether that was actually intentionally based on the Joker or whether it was just something that randomly occurred.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that there was like, I don't know, part of me just hopes that it was random, but another part of me would really like it to just be somebody was like, oh, do you know what I really want? I really quite like the Joker and stuff. Let's just shove him in here for shits and giggles. Because why not?
Play it like the Joker. It's just because none of the stuff that we now treat as commonplace for the Joker, like Mark Hamill's performance or Jack Nicholson's version, none of those had happened. It was, I mean, this is from 84, 85, 84.
When was Burton's Batman? Is that 89?
So none of those, I mean, what did we have before that? We had the Joker from the 1960s one, and that was it.
Yeah. As
far as I know.
The brave and the bold.
So it was a very modern Joker.
Yeah.
Actually, what did I say? We can't keep calling it the Joker. It was the Joker.
It was.
But yeah.
It's just weird. Somebody was channeling it. Somehow.
So anyway, the girls somehow survive the encounter with these. Well, actually, no.
They get saved.
They get saved by the mad scientists.
By the mad scientists, in their jumpsuits and their 80s onesies.
Yeah, who are gradually growing increasingly insane due to their exposure to the comet.
Yeah.
They drag the girls off to the
weird underground
facility type thing, which I
which
quite like the design of, if I'm honest.
Thing. Yeah, but it wasn't, as you said, it wasn't explored.
It was just the film at this point starts to really sort of
spiral out of control. I think is the thing. I think
it loses a lot of momentum.
It doesn't know how to finish itself. That was the major issue.
It's like I said, it did feel like they'd start to run out of budget.
Yeah.
Because they don't spend a lot of time in this sort of facility. You only see a couple of rooms of it. It looked a lot grander.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like blatant matte paintings. Like there's corridors that are blatantly like spray painted on the wall.
Yeah,
a really bad forced perspective.
But then and like you say, it's like we say, it starts to lose momentum at that point.
Yeah,
and then it just sort of gradually trails off towards the ending. They escape the facility.
Essentially, it jumps the shark with the Joker.
Yeah. After that,
you can't top that.
After that,
it's like there's nothing you can do with that now. It's like, well, you've killed him off, and he was the best thing in it.
Yeah, he would have been perfect. He would have been perfect as sort of the major villain.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, I would have seen more of him.
I wanted way more of that.
I mean, as much as I like sort of the sort of scientists in the lab type thing, I like that kind of setup.
Do you?
I do like that setup, just a bit.
Really?
Yeah, just a smidgen.
I didn't know that about you. It's never come out before.
As much as I like that, the lunatics in the shop were just more fun.
They were more fun. I loved his 80s band sort of sidekicks that he had.
Yeah.
That never said a word. They didn't speak at all.
They
just follow him around wearing Ray-Bans the whole time.
And then he shoots one of them. But like I said, they escape the facility via various means of violence. Not very good violence at this point.
It was with a 1950s car and Chakotay
dressed
as a cowboy.
Chakotay from Voyager.
Voyager, the terrible Star Trek series.
The good Star Trek series.
The terrible Star Trek series.
I like Voyager.
You're the only person.
No, if I was the only person, I wouldn't have gone through 7 series. Anyway, yeah, he shows up.
I can't comment. It's awful.
Oh, God.
It was awful.
We're going off tangent.
We are going off topic.
But like I say, the film starts to lose momentum at this point. The villains are all now wiped out after the girls escape the facility. The demented scientists either succumb to the effects of the comet or get blown up by some randomly acquired TNT.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. They just keep getting weapons from nowhere.
Yeah, we've no idea where
they're pulling them out of thin air, like Mac 10s and dynamite.
Yeah,
just oh no, we've got dynamite because we need it for this.
And I know LA's rough in some parts.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't think you're going to find that stuff in downtown.
Not in a radio station. Not in an 80s radio station.
Yeah.
I don't think they particularly had Mac 10s and dynamite.
No, I don't think security was that big an issue.
No. Well, just in case, some hopped up bikers come in.
Yeah.
They've got some C4 and shotgun.
They were preparing for the apocalypse before the apocalypse happened. But yeah, after they've escaped the villains, that's it. All the bad guys are dead, and it just leaves you with the heroes alive.
Yeah.
On a street in the middle of Los Angeles.
They've clearly done their own little faux wedding.
Yeah.
Because they're all dressed up in suits.
In their finest.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
That's it.
They state that they're the last bastions of humanity, or civilization hinges upon them, so they're going to be these upper-class toffs from now on.
Yeah, going to keep up the rules by crossing when the lights are green.
Yeah, and that's basically it.
That's it.
And then the credits roll. Which is a bit of a letdown, really, after the sort of... Because it had a good build-up.
Thing is, I think really essentially, it writes itself into a corner.
Yeah.
Because the only people you've got left are nuts, basically. And it's if the scientists aren't going to come along and find a cure or save...
Well, there's no one left to cure, that's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's you've written yourself into a corner and there's no way out.
Yeah, with the effect of this comet thing is if you don't turn to dust immediately, you become a zombie, and then you turn to dust later on.
Yeah.
So you're going to end up as dust regardless.
Which, in fairness, right, if I'm going to really pull apart the plot, it hints at the beginning that it's the same comet that caused the death of the dinosaurs. Well, there's fossils of them.
Yeah.
So they kind of turn to dust.
That's another thing we didn't touch on, that epic opening.
The epic opening that you're not sure whether you've just put the trailer on.
Yeah, it feels like it's a trailer rather than the opening to the film.
In the final days of the 20th century, mankind was being watched from the vast depths of space. Oh no, wait. That's the War of the Worlds.
So this epic opening, and you were sold on it from there, right?
I was, in fairness. I was like, I'm done.
I mean, I still like the film.
I'm all in. All the chips are in.
It's a fabulous B-movie. As you said whilst watching it, it's one of those films where the turn of phrase, it's so bad it's good, actually applies.
It really does actually apply to it.
So it really is worth watching. If only for the Joker bit.
Yeah.
And you'll know it when you see it.
Yeah, because he looks like the Joker.
He looks like the Joker.
Says
he acts
Joker
like
lines.
the Joker. You want him to be the Joker.
Yeah, he really is. And totally, when we finish recording this, I'm going to watch it again. That's really awesome.